Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and you're watching Critter Catchers. This is where we go into mysterious places on Earth, and we try to scare out any creatures, any kind of mammals, especially with claws. And we just try to scare them out, and you're just gonna wait for them to start charging towards you, and then we capture that footage. So here we go. And what that does is that intimidates whatever creatures may be in there, because I am establishing myself as the alpha male. So typically they get intimidated through. Now let's try this one here. Wait, sorry, wait, what is... Okay, let's put the critters thing on hold for a second. What is this? So I made a video called Hair Loss, Facing the Truth, It's Happening. Brandon Himmelreich, sounds pretty German. I I sent off my DNA test. By the beginning of September, I should know exactly how German I am, because my last name is Shell. That sounds German, right? Here's what Brandon says, quote, "Hi Nick, I've been watching your videos for a couple of days, and you're a terrific help and to many. Anyways, I'd say I'm a Norwood 1.5. I was at my hairdresser one day before my 37th birthday, and she pointed out I was thinning in 2 places on my crown and my front right side. Of course, that was a big blow to my ego. It's amazing because I didn't notice, and my wife didn't notice. The hairdresser told me to go on Neoxin shampoo system. Well, that was a mistake. Hair was very dry and irritated my scalp due to the harsh chemicals. My wife is into essential oils and eating organic. So I got off Neoxin and I bought all natural argan oil shampoo and started taking saw palmetto and changed my diet to fruits, walnuts, almonds, flax seeds, chia seeds, spinach, pumpkin seeds into smoothies twice a day. And these foods naturally decrease DHT. I was losing approximately 10 hairs in the shower, but now I'm down to 2 or 3 max. Nutrition is a big factor to slowing down hair loss. I also invert and do scalp exercises to create blood flow to the follicles so they get the nutrition," end quote. This is helpful, and I think we all can learn a little bit, or we can all kind of carry on this conversation about hair loss from this comment. I'm seeing 2 different things that are popping out to me. Let's start with the second thing I'm seeing. No, let's start out with the first thing I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and do that. I want to point out the interesting fact that Brandon is actually a year older than me, assuming he's still 37. Assuming this story happened recently, he just turned 37. I just turned 36, so I'm a year younger. So he's a year older than me. He's Norwood 1.5. I'm Norwood 3.2. And so that's a pretty good situation right there. So already, lucky guy, I'm thinking. But the other thing is interesting that it reminds me of the movie in Shallow Hal with Jack Black. Have you ever seen that movie? If I were to go back and watch it now, I'd think like, how did I ever like that movie? That's so stupid. But when it came out in like 2001, I watched it several times and liked it. All right, but in the movie, Jack Black's character gets hypnotized into thinking that ugly women are actually beautiful. So he's so happy, he's dating all of these beautiful women, and his buddy, who is actually Jason Alexander from Seinfeld, ends up like ruining the surprise, saying, actually, these are not beautiful women, these are women who you used to find disgusting looking. And then when Jack Black realizes that, Jason Alexander was like, well, I guess I kind of ruined that for you, didn't you? That's how I feel about this. I feel like here goes Brandon, lucky-go-happy kind of guy. Everything's well in his world. And then all of a sudden, the hairdresser, and Maxwell Smart can decide how he feels about the fact that the hairdresser pointed this out to a guy who wasn't even talking about his hair loss. But the hairdresser pointed out that he was Norwood 1.5, which is it's barely going up at all, at this point. But now it's become an issue in a way. But instead of, it worried Brandon enough for him to do something about it, which I endorse. Remember, if there's a problem and you can do something about it or try, then do something about it and try. Don't just remain the victim and think, oh no, my world's coming to an end because I'm experiencing hair loss. I appreciate and completely respect what Brandon did. He thought, you know what? I'm going to try to do something about it. And it's funny because Brandon's plan is quite similar to mine. Because what do? I do the rosemary and argan oil every night before I go to bed with the derma roller, whatever you want to call it. I just rub it in right up here every night, faithfully. I stopped doing the pumpkin seed oil because here's where I've evolved to. I don't want to spend money on trying to save my hair. The amount of money that I spend on the argan oil and the rosemary is like nothing. It's a couple dollars. It's nothing at all. And it's really no trouble. Like, it's more trouble to brush my teeth than it is just to hurry up and do that every night. It's no big deal. So I do it. It's fine. And of course, as we all know, I'm a strict vegan, have been for years. So I know what he's talking about. All those things he says that he eats, those are things of course I eat more than that too. I'm also eating beans and grains and, you know, and pasta and all this other stuff. But everything he named, like chia seeds, I have a smoothie every day with chia seeds in it. So he's eating things that, in other words, are high in, some of these things are high in fat, but they have zero cholesterol. And so these are, it's this concept of eating organic, more vegan-based foods, how that's having its benefits. I completely respect that. It's interesting because with Brandon's story, we have someone, like for me, for example, I'm Norwood 3.2, and you can quote me on that because no one ever says they're Norwood 3.2. They'll say 3 or 3.5, or they'll say 3A, but I'm saying 3.2. But for me, okay, in theory, let's say that because I became a vegan 4 years ago, that has frozen my hairline. That by me being a vegan, it's kept the hairline out of it. It's effectively worked. Okay. So the best that can ever happen is if I continue everything the way I am, I'll always be a vegan, but say I continue the rosemary oil and it preserves my hairline. The best things can be for me is Norwood 3.2. But for Brandon, he's at 1.5 at age 37, and he's doing something about it now, which he believes is working, and I could vouch it. Maybe it is working because I live a similar lifestyle and doing similar things. Okay? So it's interesting because in theory, if this is really working, he can remain 1.5 the rest of his life. So because he found out when he did, he's already got that advantage of that. Very fascinating story. So grateful to share. And it carries on the ongoing theme, especially this week, on the concept of, does nutrition play a part in your hair loss, and to what degree and what specific? Like, let's not say, well, yeah, if you go around eating junk food at McDonald's all the time and drinking soda compared to someone who eats healthier. Now, let's get specific. And I think this concept of vegan talk and plant-based living, I think this is actually interesting. Let's talk more about this. If you wish, you're in control. You're the free market.